Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome to the clients page. Now this is a unique page as in it has this very unique carousel. Over here on the left hand side we have a large version of an image, and over here on the right hand side we have a small thumbnail version of the image. So when we click, for example, on the link icon within the small thumbnail, it will slide in a larger version of the image. Actually what it does is it slides in the same image, just it's stretched to fit the background. So this is one of those cases where you can use a larger thumb image here to fit the container over here, but we'll go through the image sizes in a second. For each large image, you'll need to update the title, the subtitle, and the paragraph describing this client, or it doesn't have to be for clients, it can be for anything. For the thumbnail, you'll need to update just the title and the subtitle. You'll also need to update the link right here for the light box. So we pop that up, there it goes. That's the original size, that's the actual size of the image we're using for both the thumb and for the large, right? And then you can scroll through, there's our light box in action. And the other thing we'll show you is if you're going to be adding more clients or more thumbs, I highly recommend you do it in pairs. So right now we go through, we have 8, right? 2 per column. Odd numbers don't work overly well, so if you can, uh, find a way to end on an even number. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, etc. Even if you have to use 2 different thumbnail images for the same client or the same person or the same item, 2 different images that is, and have maybe a featured client with 2 pictures instead of 1, something like that. So as long as you end up with a nice even number, other than that you're going to have this odd blank space that's going to look a little goofy. But totally up to you. It may or may not suit your purposes. So let's just jump into how to make the changes. So the first thing we'll do is we'll show you how to update the large image and its information, and then how to update its partner thumbnail. So we'll go to the clients page. We'll right click and open file, and it will open up the client's thumb, or if you ever wonder, you can always go to the components, carousels, and there's the clients right there and the client thumb. Right, so for each large image, we want to replace the picture, the title, the subtitle, and the paragraph. Pretty straightforward stuff, right? I have my little folder of pictures. There's my clients. So we need to figure out how big a picture to use. The default size we're using is 640 by, it's actually 480. 481 is a bit of a, I must have had a fat finger that day, but 640 by 480. You can use larger if you want to, or smaller, and the image is going to stretch a little bit. So we've used something right in the middle of the road that would work well for the thumb. It would stretch to fit the background over here, as well as would work well for the light box, because we're using one image for all 3 of those items. Right? So I double click, the image is loaded in from the images folder. Okay, so in other words, the client images folder right here. I would take my replacement image, and remember I said we're going to do this in 2s, so I've made 2 images right here, 1 and 2. I'm going to take both of these and drop them in here. All right, and then the first image, I'm going to tell you what, I'm not going to change this one. I'm going to add 2 more. So I'm going to scroll down, and then when I add 2 more, the process of updating them will be the same. So I need to find out where there's my client large right there, and then it goes to client small. So I need to select the last large image, flip over to the code view here, and see there's client 8. I'm going to take client 8 right here, including the comment tags. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it twice. I'm going to paste it once and twice. Okay. Now, when I do that, the first thing I recommend you do is change the comment tag just to stay organized. We'll do 9 and 9, and most importantly, change the ID from client details 8 to client details 9. I'll do 9 up here as well, and then I'll do the same down here. I'll do this as 10 and 10. So wherever you had the 8 before, change that over to 10 and 10. Okay, so at least we're keeping our information organized as we do these copies and pastes. All right, so that's step number 1. We've added 2 more large ones. Now that we've added 2 more large, we have to add 2 more thumbs, right? And we can add individual thumbs, but actually because these thumbs are wrapped in a thumb column, we're just going to copy the entire column and then make our changes. And when I say copy our entire thumb column, I'm going to go down and find the client small 8. There it is there. I'm just going to click switch to code view, or I can actually see it up here even as if I scroll over far enough, it'll grab the entire, right? See the thumb column? Yeah, that's what I want to copy and paste because a thumb column contains 2 thumbs. So I'm going to grab this thumb to thumb column right down here, right? Copy the whole thing. So I'm going to, like I said, once again, starting with thumb column up here, I'm going to copy and scrub all the way down until I find the closing thumb column, which is right down here, and it's commented for you. You copy that, and then we're going to make a bunch of space here. We're going to paste, and then I'm going to once again rename things here, and I'm going to change one additional thing. So we'll do this as, instead of 7, we'll make this 9, and we'll make this 9 right here. Okay, and what I need to do also is change the ID down here from 7 to 9. So when I click my thumb link, it's going to look for the proper large image. Okay, instead of number 7, it'll display number 9, right? And it displays it in a sequence. So that's why we're trying to keep everything organized, right? And I'll change this to 9 here, and 8 will change to 10, and then I'll just change that to 10. I'll scrub on down a little bit more, find the ID, change 8 to 10. As long as you use a numbering sequence, you won't go wrong, right? And we'll change that to 10 right there as well. Okay, so now I've added 2 more large images, and I have put 2 more smaller thumb images, and I've renamed everything. So if I flip over to the design view here, there's my first, second, third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 and 10, and they repeat up here. So now I can go and actually click, and I'll browse, and I'll go to my carousels, my library components, carousels, clients folder, images, and I'll select my first replacement image, which will be number 1, 640 by 480-1. I'll click OK, double click, go to appearance, and make sure I don't have any size specified, right? And then I'll do the same for the second one here. I'll hit the browse. I'll pick 640 by 480-2, right? And bang. So now I've changed the images. I need to do the same for the thumbs. I'm going to scroll down and find number 9 and number 10. And the reason I changed the title here as well is because I wanted to make sure that, excuse me, I could find them in the page very easily. So I'll just double click. I'm going to change from 7. I'm going to use the same image I used for the large, right? Double click and gone. And this one here, same thing. Oops. Use number 2. Okay, and then appearance and remove, like so. All right, so far I've got the actual setup for adding the 2 additional client images and the 2 additional thumbs. And after this point, really, it's more a matter of just going through and changing the rest of the pics if I need them changed, and changing the title, the subtitle, and the paragraph for the large. And I go down to the small, and I change the title and the subtitle and the picture to make sure I match if I change the upper one, which you will be. You'll be changing them all because these are all dummy pictures, right? But if I save that and I go back and I preview my page, right? So here's, like I said, you click here, it slides the image in here, and then we scurry across, and let's go find those new images. So if I click here, boom, and I click here, boom, it slides the right image in. And the key to that with the small images is this ID right here. The first small image needs to be the ID of 1, and the second one an ID of 2, and so on. So that was the key to that right there. And of course there's one other thing here, and that is the light box. So let's go back, and I'll go back to those 2 new images that I added up here. Large left, there we go. See this one here? So when we change an image for the, sorry, not for that one there. We go down to the small images, So when we change the small thumbnail image, client small, right? We need to change the lightbox image, which is when we click over, we click one of these things here, the image that it pulls up. You see it pulled up the wrong image? That's because I haven't updated it yet. So I'll select the, oh sorry, there's the 9 right there. So I'll select that image, go to the code view, I'll copy the name of the image, and when you select the image and you go to code view, it automatically has the image selected for you, which is nice. So we're going to copy the name of the image right here, 640 by 40-1. We're just going to copy that, go down, find the fancy box, move over, and there was the client-7. We're going to replace that with the name of our new image right there, and that updates the lightbox for us as well. And then I'd go down and I would find the next image, the 640 by 40-2, copy that and paste it in place of the client-8, which was what we had originally. Right, so even when you update the small thumbs, if you're not adding new ones, if you're just replacing what we already have, and you replace this with an image of a different name, you would still need to copy the new name here, go down to your fancy box, select the name of the image that was there, and paste in the name of your new image.